Wagwan people, we are buzzing today. We are here for another Fourever Arsenal. Welcome along. Welcome to the guys today. Curtis, Jack, and Mr. Lee Judges himself. We're buzzing because Arsenal are through to the final of the Carabao Cup, beating Chelsea 1-0 on the night. Can I remind everybody? 4-2 on aggregate. Not 1-0, 4-2, right? On aggregate, and Arsenal are through to the cup final. We're going to be discussing that game today. We're also going to be speaking about a real pivotal weekend in the Premier League this weekend when Arsenal take on Sunderland at home and our closest rivals in second and third place face very tricky away games. We're going to be discussing that later on as well. But listen, first of all, welcome along, Curtis, as I said, Lee and Jack. Guys, how are you feeling this morning?
Should I go first?
Go on, Lee, go on.
Absolutely buzzing. What a performance that was last night. I don't care what anybody says. I believe if we would have played that game 2 seasons ago, we might have lost that game. Yeah? But it was so professional in what they'd done. And that was the good thing for me. Learning lessons as they've gone along. Mikel last night got every decision spot on. The decision that to bring on Havertz instead of Jesus was a big decision, boys. A really big, because you look at the weekend at Leeds. Jesus comes on, has been fantastic, scored a goal. He's been fantastic when he's been playing that role, coming on as a substitute. But he went with Havertz yesterday, and oh my God, that moment will live for a very, very long while for me. It was one of the best moments at the Emirates. It was when he was going through the whole. I can't believe how the place went mad after that. We've had some tough times at the Emirates, which has been criticised and everything like that. But I thought the fans yesterday were fantastic because they see what was happening. We was all a little bit nervous, but we knew. Look, everybody was sort of reminding everybody in the stadium yesterday. We don't need to score. We don't need to take risks. It's them that need to take the risk. Why should we take the risk? And I think that we played it so well yesterday. And I love all the press and all the media and all that. Gallant, victorious effort from the mighty £1 billion Chelsea. It was a disgrace from them, absolute disgrace that they were so frightened to give it a go in a semi-final. And that is what we have to put up with week in, week out. And that is why set pieces, are such a key for us. I will say one thing, right? And I think it's important that Arsenal fans and all of us now do this. When you see a shocking refereeing decision on shocking VAR and shocking performance, it's best to say it when you win because then you ain't bitter. But that decision for not to give that a penalty yesterday is an absolute crime. It's a stonewall penalty. How they don't give it, I don't know. And that Howard Webb must resign because the standard of refereeing, guys, is a shambles. But do you know what else is a shambles? Chelsea's tactical decisions yesterday. They got what they deserved right at the last. For a team to do that, my dad, God bless him, always used to say that they deserve a last-minute goal going in against them to really put it down. And that's exactly what we did yesterday. Well done, Arsenal. I am buzzing. I've had hardly any sleep last night. I don't think I went to bed about 3 o'clock in the morning watching it. And I just loved the performance yesterday. I know that people, I don't care. Anybody that slags us off, I understand. I don't care. I understand exactly what we had to do yesterday and what we've done. And we've done it by a T. And I've just got to say, I hold my hands up in Kepier yesterday. Man of the match, without a shadow of a doubt. What a performance from him. And I'm so glad that he did have that performance because I thought defensively yesterday he was magnificent, absolutely magnificent yesterday from start to finish. So well done to him and well done to all the players. It was a great night.
Yeah, man. Listen, I echo everything you said. I thought Nketiah was outstanding yesterday. Obviously, someone who meant a lot to us, Kevin Campbell. It was his birthday today. Kev would have been proud of that.
And my dad's birthday today as well. It would have been my dad's birthday as well. So big,
you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, would have been very proud of that and what we saw last night. And I think it shows what we've been missing, don't it, as a club, but getting to finals. Something has been missing over the last few years, despite how well we've been doing. And sometimes you only realise it as much when it actually happens, because so many Arsenal fans last night messaging and buzzing. We're in the final, Wembley. Feels like we haven't been to Wembley for so long, because 2020 weren't allowed in the stadium. So, and the fact, obviously, we're either going to play Man City or Newcastle. It's going to be a big final either way. In terms of the game, I mean, listen, let's be honest. It wasn't a great game of football. Like, it wasn't. Until Havertz scored, I was just like, oh, come on. Like, we had 2 shots on target. I do think we took a little bit of a risk, in the sense that I felt we played with that thought process of we are leading 1-0, so we didn't really go for it. And you always just felt Chelsea didn't really create a big chance, but they had more possession, they had more shots. Enzo had a couple chances, and Cole Palmer had that free kick right on the edge. I do think, if I'm being a little bit constructive, when we get to that final, we have to attack a lot better. I don't think any of our attackers, maybe Martinelli played all right, probably should have scored. Our attack wasn't at its best last night, especially in the first half. But what I did like about the performance was the way we defended. We've been talking over the last few weeks saying we're conceding too many goals. We've just kept back-to-back clean sheets, away at Leeds and Chelsea at home, and it feels like that Arsenal defence from earlier in the season is back. Do you know what I mean? And Cappier was solid, like you said. Timber, I thought, was excellent. Saliba wasn't at his best, gave the ball away a few times in the first half. But, him and Gabby, the leadership. And listen, cup competitions are different to me. I'm more interested in the result than the performance. When we won the FA Cup last time, we had a shaky game at Sheffield United where Ceballos scored at the end. And I always say nobody cares how you get to the final. It's just who wins the competition. The thing now is we've got to go and win it. We have to go and win it now, boys. Like, if we don't win it, all of this is in vain, innit? We've got to go to Wembley and beat either the holders in Newcastle or probably going to be Man City, who, imagine the psychological blow to Man City if we beat them in a cup final while being in a title race. Do you know what I mean? So I think it was a great moment for us as a club last night, because our history at the Emirates hasn't been as big as it should be. And I think we all feel like we might put some history in place this season. So yeah, I was proud of the club last night. It was a great moment for Mikel. You could see how much it meant to him. You could see the celebrations. It's something that people like me and other people have said, like, look, you can praise him as much as you want. If he doesn't get over the line, it won't be remembered. So I think that was a massive moment for him. So let's go and win it.
Yeah, just echo what you guys said. We're in a final, guys. We're in a final, and that's what I was trying to tell people last night. Like, I was at the watch party with Cecil and Co, and we're watching their game, and some people were looking so nervous, and I was just thinking, guys, like, is this not what we complain about every week for? We want to go to a final, we want to win trophies. We're sat here, we'll analyse our defence, our attack, and managers and transfers, and at the end of the day, we just want to win trophies. We want days out, like, we're all going to Wembley, like, we should all be buzzing. Like, it was so good, and I think to get one over on Chelsea makes it sweeter. Havertz, his celebration. It was just a night for the fans, I feel. Like, it did feel like a night for the fans to just sort of rejuvenate that energy to go into the end of the season. We've been saying it, that Carabao Cup final could be the one that, sort of motivates the players just before that end 10 games to say, look, you've got one over the line, now go win the big ones. And it felt similar for the fans. Like, can't speak for all of us, of course, but that like sense of relief when Havertz scored and everyone was just like buzzing. There was just energy. It was good energy, and it was like there was no he should have played this. That we're in a final, and it was good to have that energy again. Like you said, it's been years then since we've had that with COVID, etc. But yeah, the performance itself, I don't even want to go too deep with it. I mean, Eze, I thought could have done better. I thought he didn't show for the ball enough sometimes. I thought we could be more clinical in attack. But I think, as Robbie said, like the game plan as well, like we didn't need to take the risks. There was no need. Maybe it was a normal game. We could go, why did he try to take? Why is Madueke not taking his man on more? There's loads of nitpick things you can do. But I think last night all anyone cared about was a result, and we got the result. We're through, and I think I mentioned it last episode. We're not we're a game closer now to the possibility of playing Manchester City 4 times in 1 month, with a home and away leg. If the Champions League fixtures go away, a final and away at the Etihad in the league. So that's going to be very interesting, having to play them 4 times in such a short space amount of time. But it's what we asked for. It's we're getting to finals, we're getting to last stages of Champions League, we're in a title race, and I think we just got to sit back and enjoy this now. I think the players know it, the manager knows it. And I'll refer back to what Arteta said in his last presser before this game, where we've just got to enjoy it. It's all about enjoyment at this stage, and the more the crowd get more anxious and nervous as the season comes closer, I think it will have an effect on the team. And I think you saw last night when the crowd's buzzing, the team love off it. Their celebrations at the end, you had the entire subs bench run on. You had Havertz leaning over the hoardings and Declan Rice going mental, and it felt good. And I think if we can keep that connection with the fans and the players going into this last stretch of games, it will be really important.
Yeah, I mean, listen, could I just say something? Yeah, and I heard a lot of this yesterday from Arsenal fans. Yeah, last night, obviously, it wasn't the greatest game in the world. It doesn't have to be from Arsenal. This game was played over 2 legs. Are we forgetting that? Mm-hmm. We went to Stamford Bridge and scored 3 goals. When people say, oh, you weren't attacking, right? 3 goals we scored there. The game should have been dead then. We completely dominated that game from start to finish. Yeah? Just some little lapses that let them in, right? We dominated that game at Stamford Bridge. No new manager bounced for them, right? And beat them by 3 goals to 2. So when they come back to our place now, their emphasis is on Chelsea. They're lucky it's not the days of away goals. That's why they bought it. Remember they bought that in because they want to see, you know. They're lucky away goals weren't around in this time, right? They did nothing. I'm telling you this, right? Watching that game, the only time I was fearful of Chelsea was when they got that free kick right near the end when Cole Palmer was over it. I'm like, oh, you know what? He does have the ability to curl that in. Arsenal tactics were spot on. We don't have to attack. Remember, even if they score, that doesn't mean we lose, you know. That just means they bring it back level. The emphasis is on Chelsea. And as somebody said it last night when I was doing the interviews, they said, do you remember when Arsenal, right? When we played PSG last season and we lost that first leg 1-0. What did we do when we went to PSG? For the first 20, 25 minutes, we were all over PSG. Donnarumma had to make 3 brilliant saves. You remember that? To keep them in that game, and then they scored, right? But we had a go. Because we knew in these type of games, and we said it, Lee, when we was doing the starting 11, right? The team that scores first, that's the all-important thing. If Chelsea would have went out there and got an early goal, say, yeah, then all of a sudden it's a different game because it's back level now. Now it's just a normal, regular game, right? But we're winning, right? If we're winning 3-2 at home, right? Say the game would have been played out at home and we're winning 3-2. We're not going to go gun-ho. The emphasis is on Chelsea. And I thought right from the get-go, when we was doing the starting 11 show and I saw their setup, and I'm like, hold on, they're going 5 at the back. They're crowded up the midfield with Caicedo, Andre Santos, 2 defensive midfielder players, and a central midfielder in Enzo Fernandez, who's not... I'm like, why are they not playing Cole Palmer from the start? He's their creative player. So it was always going to be really difficult for Arsenal to play through that. To play through that is so crowded. You know what I mean? They've got so many players behind the ball. It's difficult, right? So why do we need to go all out playing through that? If they've only got 1 player up front. And basically, when you looked at their formation, it was almost like they were playing without a striker because they had Delap was playing out wide, weren't he, on one side, Lee?
Yeah.
And then on the other side, they had João Pedro. On the other, they didn't have anyone down the middle. So I was just like, what? They're not having a go. So we just controlled the game. I thought the tactics was perfect. Doesn't make for the greatest spectacle, but the great spectacle was at Stamford Bridge, where we scored 3 goals. Half of our work is done. They need to come, and they didn't have a go, and it was obvious what they were going to try and do later on, bring people on, and it didn't work. I cannot understand how some pundits and that were giving them plaudits for those tactics. They got it all wrong. You got to have a go. We're not playing Wolves or a Brentford or somebody like that, right? This is Chelsea, who spent over nearly £2 billion, right? And that is what they had to offer, right? And I'm telling you, right, Arteta got his tactics spot on. That's kind of going to be probably the blueprint for even like Champions Leagues. We will see. We know that semi-finals are cagey affairs, especially in the second leg, because nobody wants to make a mistake. Nobody wants to give up that goal, which then all of a sudden turns the tide. And Arsenal did it perfectly. Just wait. They're going to have to go gun-ho at some stage. And when they do, we'll just catch them on the counter-attack, which is exactly what we did. And we fully deserved to go through over the two legs. Chelsea didn't do enough. They got spanked at their place. And then when they come to our place, they didn't have a go. And all these teams and all these pundits and all this, Arsenal, they're boring. All there is set pieces. If they win, it's going to be the worst league. I've said it before. Then come and have a go then. You come and show us. You can't criticise us for not attacking. Then you come to our place, you don't attack. Liam Racina's telling players to stay in their own half. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Stay in your own half. What, you're going to score from there? You need to score, innit? How you get... Listen, I didn't play to the standard of you guys, but maybe Curtis, you can tell me. I don't see many goals getting scored from your own half.
Well,
you need to get the other half, right? They were poor. And we fully deserve to go through it. Like you said, Lee, when Havertz rubbed through and scored that goal, that stadium. Because like you said, they're running through and everyone's off their seat now.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's off their seat. And then when he scored, Havertz as well. I was near the Chelsea fans. I looked round. I have to say, the speed in which they got out of the stadium, I don't know how they did it. That's so quick, man. They were gone. You know what I mean? Right? Like Havertz. Sweet. I was with some Chelsea fans on Monday. These guys are so bitter at the moment. They're so bitter. They are turning it. I said to, I was with, Rory. I said to Rory, I go, you guys turning into what you used to say about us. Everything you say is about the past. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where's the European Cups and all this? Hold on. Let me just say something about Chelsea Football Club, yeah? I said this on Monday to them. I don't know what your guys' aim is. Are you a crypto team who just deals with players to make profit, or are you trying to? Because when you dig down into Chelsea, yeah, they haven't won the league since 2017, right? Since they won that league in 20, listen, we ain't won it for way longer. I know that before anyone says that. Listen, we know we've criticised our team heavily for not doing it, right? But Chelsea, they've spent over £2 billion. They haven't won the league since 2017, yeah? Since they won that league in 2017, which was kind of an unexpected win, remember, they haven't got close to winning the league, have they? They're not even close. What Chelsea fans used to cuss Arsenal for, all you lot talk about is getting into the top four. What are they talking about at the moment? What did they talk about last year? What did they talk about the year before? And I don't want to hear nothing about no Conference League, because Chelsea, a club of their size, shouldn't be in the Conference League, right? They're miles off it. So when people like to have a go at Arteta, at least he's been building towards these moments. Now, like Curtis says, we need to get over the line. Let's go and get over the line in this Carabao Cup. It's going to be difficult because a one-off game, whether it be City, which it probably is going to be, or Newcastle, won't be easy. Remember, Newcastle last year beat Liverpool. In a one-off game, won't be easy, but this team has it to get over the line. Get over the line in this. Get over the line in the league. But he's been building towards this. And, I think that was his first semi-final he's won in 4. Am I right?
Yeah.
So it was a big moment for Arteta. It was a big moment for those fans in the stadium and around the world for Arsenal. We're in a final. I can't wait. I haven't been to Wembley for a long time. Like you said, Lee, the last time we got there, it was COVID times, right? So we didn't get to go in the stadium. It's a big moment. It's a big, big moment. And I think, again, it's proving the worth of our squad, because normally over the years gone by, we've not really been able to cope with these competitions, right, because of our squad. But we've got a good squad, and we have been able to, you know. And before any Chelsea fan talks about any players that may have been missing, there was no Saka last night, no Odegaard, no Mikel Merino. So don't use that either, right? We thoroughly deserved it over the 2 legs. I don't think any Chelsea fan can say anything different. And I'm starting to feel like there is some sort of almost like an agenda against Arsenal. You see people writing articles about, you know, would it be the worst fan base to win it? Is this going to be the worst team to win it? They're scared, people, because they know, right, that Arsenal winning this is a real winning things this season is a distinct possibility now. And they're starting to get worried because they know they're going to hear from us. And you will. You will hear from us. Yeah? There are a lot of us. There are a lot of us around the world. A lot of us have got big platforms. We don't need newspapers. We don't need talk sports and stuff like that, because we've got bigger audiences than them. And you're going to hear from us, because you know what? You're all out there mocking us in the days of pain. Our time is coming. I'm telling you.
No, I can't lie. Robbie's hyping me up early in the morning. You know,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, hey, Curtis, I'm buzzing, man. I'm buzzing, right? Because I'm telling you, I'm seeing these fans, right, from other clubs, and it's all banter, it's all love, but they're worried because they're sensing something. Oh, as I said, everybody, oh, you lot are so boring, dead. Then come and have a go. I said it the other day. It's a bit like boxing. Styles make fights, yeah? So if you come and you're going to run around the ring for 10 rounds with, or 12 rounds with Mike Tyson, and, you know, it doesn't make for a good fight, does it? Yeah, Tyson ends up winning. You know, he wins every round. He ends up winning. Why don't you come, if you're bad, come and let's go toe-to-toe. Come on.
Samir Nasri again. Yeah?
Because you know what? So you don't come and do toe-to-toe, and then you stand out there moaning and groaning when you have a chance to come and stand toe-to-toe with Arsenal. You don't want it. They don't want it, Lee. They don't want it with us. They don't want it with us. I'm telling you. Right? So, no, I'm feeling really good this morning, man. Like, you know, do you remember after the other day, after that United game, how down we was feeling? And what we asked for a response from the team, right? And guys, let's just be real, right? Can you imagine if we hadn't have got a response? And these were 2 tough games. Could easily have slipped up yesterday and went out to Chelsea. Could have went away to Leeds and lost easily, or drew, dropped points. And we passed both tests with flying colours, right? So these were not easy tasks. They're not like the next 2 games following that United game were 2 home games against 2 easy teams. It weren't. I'm absolutely buzzing, right? And those players, they've really stood up. They've really, really stood up over the last couple of games and given us a great chance going forward. Really, I'm so happy, so happy. And every Arsenal fan out there, you should be happy. Don't overanalyze yesterday because we did what we had to do. Last year when Tottenham was in that final with Man United and everyone said it's the boringest final of all time, the worst, you think they care. And they're right not to care. It was a dead final. But all they remember is lifting the trophy. And that's what it comes down to. Arsenal just need to get over the line in these things. That's it.
I've got to say, you know, like I am buzzing and all that, but I'm just going to big up Arsenal Football Club yesterday as well, by putting their fans up in the gods. What a move that was! It's about time. I hope they do it in the Champions League as well for the away fans. Now, couldn't see them, couldn't hear them. And it was fantastic. Now, I'm not saying that we do that for every Premier League team.
Sorry, Lee, they were lower tier as well.
Yeah,
that's
were
before
lower
everyone
tier,
says, right? They were lower tier and upper tier. But what they did, instead of putting them right across the clock end, they put them sort of in a section lower, like basically what they do to
Yeah,
us, lower and
split,
upper.
like they do.
Which that meant they didn't have half the stadium, was how it seems. Like when you sometimes do that.
And the lower tier was smaller than what the normal away end is. So that I thought Arsenal playing that fantastic work, because I was saying before the game, we was walking to the game going, oh, they're going to have all of the clock end. It's going to be like even more Chelsea and all that. What they done yesterday was you couldn't see them and you couldn't hear them, and that was a fantastic thing. I'm not saying to do that for Premier League games, but for European games now, that's where they go. Every single time now, that's where they go. And I felt that helps us yesterday, because it wasn't the atmosphere that you see when other teams come there. So well done to Arsenal for that. And that's a big, I'm not being horrible, that's a percentage thing in football. Like, football is about percentages. It's not it's fine lines. And that was a decision made yesterday that benefited the team, benefited us as well, like, you know. And it was a fantastic move from Arsenal. Well done. And the other thing that I will say is that we've all played football and all that. Semi-finals are never the best. Always say there's always never the best games. No, they aren't. You go through history, they're not, because there's so much to lose on it. You know what I mean? You're so close, but yet you're so far. And I don't care what anybody says. It's always hurt me to lose semi-finals more than finals. At least you got the day for the final, but to lose in the semi-finals, tough. And we went through 4 of them last season, like, you know what I mean? Like 4 semi-final games, home and away, and lost all 4. And the biggest compliment I can give Mikel on that defence yesterday, as you said earlier on, Robbie, the one time that I was nervous through that whole game was when they had a free kick from the edge of the box. Other than that, I felt we was totally in control defensively. You know, people were, and listen, I'm not got when people turn around and said, you know, no, Kepa shouldn't play. It should be Raya. I understand that. I understand why they were saying it, but I felt that he done the right thing by playing Kepa yesterday as well. And he wasn't bothered. He wasn't. Where can I say it? They didn't put it on him. Like, he wasn't flustered and all that, because we defended so well yesterday. Like, you know what I mean? That back 4, and then you have to say to yourselves, like, Zubimendi and particularly Declan Rice played in front of it. It was just a brilliant performance. You know, I'm sitting there going, like, you know, they ain't going to score, this team. Don't worry about it. Like, you know, I just felt yesterday. Oh, and you're right, Rob. Probably this week has been a real education for us. Like, I think that we've learned lessons. You know what I mean? I think Arsenal would have lost that 2 years ago. I really do. I think that they would have gone out. They wouldn't have got the result at Leeds. It would have been a draw or whatever, like, you know. But there's a determination to keep clean sheets, a determination to win games of football. There's a determination to get over the line, I think, like, you know. And I think, like, you have to, you know, we haven't won anything yet, I know, but that was Mikel's finest hour yesterday. I don't care what anybody says, that was his finest hour, because he backed up what he'd done against Leeds. I don't think, you know, to go to Leeds under that sort of pressure and win 1-0 would have been fantastic. We went there and won 4-0. Absolutely, it was comfortable under pressure. And then yesterday, to not only play those tactics, to play them out as well, you know what I mean? There could be a time you think, oh, sod this, I'm going to go and try and score and all that. There was a real, you know, I loved it. I really did, like, you know. And I hope.
Do you think we should add a penalty?
Oh,
that's the other thing.
Stonewall penalty. How's that not a penalty? How is that not? I see it in normal time. I say it's a penalty. He's gone past him and he's tripped him over. How VAR have not given that? I don't know. And of course,
what do you think, Curtis? Did you think? I'm interested.
Yeah,
to see
it's funny.
what the other guys
when I
felt
saw it, I didn't really see the whole replay, so I just saw Chalobah win the ball. But then when I saw the replay, he wins the ball, don't he? Then he realizes Martinelli's got away from him. He just scooped his leg.
He's got away from him.
Foot. It is a penalty, but you know, it's
yeah, it was a
So
slight.
I thought I saw it back today, and I was like, "That's a pen."
Man City, right, are moaning and groaning about the penalty, the goal for Solanke with the little, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's going, oh, it's a definite foul. You know what I mean? Shouldn't Spurs goal shouldn't have been. I haven't heard one person come out and say that is a definite penalty and call out the VAR for it. It was a scandalous.
Even the handball. Even the handball was.
He's punched it, hasn't he? I thought it was a good save. But there you go.
No, the hook.
Did you think it was a penalty?
Yeah, the hook. I think it was the like I was similar to Curtis when I first saw it. I thought, Martinelli, you messed that one up a little bit. But he gets the ball and then, like you said, it sort of bobbles past him and he hooks his other foot and takes Martinelli down with him. So I thought it was a blatant pen. When the ref stopped it, I thought, I don't even have to worry. They're going to VAR it. He's going to go over. He's going to get a pen. We'll be all right. So I'm not sure. But I do agree with Lee said is that if we brought this up and we lost, they'd be like, of course, it's always the referee, it's never your fault and stuff. So I think it is important we do bring this stuff up when we win as well, because luckily we're in a position where it didn't affect the game, but it is just the refereeing standards. And I know Man City, we want them to lose every game 5-0, but I did sort of understand what Rodri was saying from the positions that we've been, especially last season where we felt a bit hard done by with the Trossard and the Rice decision, etc. And I think Rodri basically just came out and said that they feel like they've been on the end of a load of these this season. And obviously the comeback to that is, well, we had to deal with it last season. It's your turn now. It is what it is. It all comes around. But I do think the standard of officiating, I mean, me and Lee had a good old chat with a Mr. Mike Dean the other week, and we let him know our thoughts on that. We let him know our thoughts on the standard of.
Hey Lee, well done for that.
Well
done for that, Lee. Big up. That was big up.
It was.
You didn't hold back, Lee. You know what I mean? Big up the judge, man. He didn't hold back. I love that thing when you say you want Tranmere to lose.
But he admitted, didn't he, Jack? He admitted that the standard of refereeing has dropped. He admitted it.
Yeah, he did.
You know, I think he's trying to big himself up. We sort of put him straight on that, didn't we, Jack? But, you know what I mean? It has. I think refereeing has got worse since VAR's come in. It's got scandalous worse, like, you know, because the referee thinks, I don't want to do it because I've got to get the help from these guys upstairs. And the people on VAR now have got to be sacked. Those people yesterday on VAR they should be now accountable for what they've done yesterday, like, you know. And Howard Webb should be coming out, not with in that Michael Owen thing, and saying, look, we got this wrong. You know what I mean? It's such a bad decision. I don't mind. Do you know what? And we were talking to this with Mike Dean, weren't we, about this? If the referee misses that, right, do you know what? There's a sort of thing you can say, well, I understand it a little bit that he's missed it. You know what I mean? He's a referee. It's not right, but I can get it. But when you've got it on TV and you're watching it 10, 15 times and they still get it, that's worse. It makes it even worse that you actually watching it on TV and you're not giving it. And it's a stonewall penalty, guys. You know what I mean? Right? And how it hasn't been given. Do you know what? I'm going to say it now. I'm contradicting myself now. I'm probably glad that it didn't, because we got the best moment ever at the Emirates in the last kick of the game. Wouldn't have got that moment. But at the end of the day, you know, it's scandalous decisions. And the refereeing stand, I thought that referee yesterday, I don't know who it was absolutely shocking. Some of his, you know, management of the game, you know, was shocking. Giving fouls when there weren't, you know what I mean? I just thought he was so inconsistent, guys. You know what I mean? Like, and it is ruining football, I have to say, you know. It didn't ruin my night last night, but it could have done.
Lee, I'll be honest, you know, the refs, they really annoy you a lot, don't they? I've noticed this season, you're turning into Ty, mate. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with Lee on that one.
It's not so much it's the VAR. I can't stand it, guys. I cannot stand VAR. I watched the game, the FA Cup games without VAR last. I thoroughly enjoyed what I watched as a neutral and as a fan. But, like, you know, even when a goal goes in now, you're waiting around. Like yesterday, you knew it weren't. You could tell that it weren't. But, you know, like in the Leeds game, you know, you're waiting and waiting. The refs, as soon as there's something happens, I think there was, even yesterday, I don't know if you noticed that, yesterday, when that free kick goes in from Palmer, they're all like appealing for handball, right? And the referee stops and he pulls everybody over and you go, well, what's going on here? You've just seen it, ref. Like, from 5 yards, and you're not giving handball. So why now? You know, and there's a what's happening here? Like, you know what I mean? And then like there's a big cheer because like it's just I just think it's football's being spoiled, guys. It really is, like, you know. But listen, that's for another day. That's for another day.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
all
save
about
that
the
one.
Arsenal day, like, you know.
All right. Well, you know what I want to ask you guys. Listen, that's great. We're through to the final. We know that. We'll find out who we get later. But the big game now is the weekend. Arsenal versus Sunderland. Sunderland played on Monday night, had a big win over Burnley. Expected. They got a great home record. Not quite as good on the road, Sunderland. Sunderland come to the Emirates Stadium to play Arsenal. If Arsenal win that game, they would then move 9 points above Manchester City ahead of their game that they play on Sunday away at Anfield against Liverpool. A real tough game for anybody to go there any time of the year, no matter how they're playing. That's always tough. Aston Villa, who were 7 points behind, they also have a tough game. They'll be playing at the same time as us on the Saturday. They're away at Bournemouth. Guys, this could be a pivotal weekend in the Premier League. How big is this, Curtis? How big is this weekend?
I mean, I said on the last show that I already had my eye on this weekend because I'll be honest with you, and I'm saying it now. I don't think Man City are going to win that game. Honestly, you know, I know predictions can be dangerous, but Liverpool just had a great result. Ekitike, Havertz, they're starting to perform. I just don't see them letting City roll into Anfield and turn them over. Now, they could, but I just don't think they will. I don't want to be dismissive of Villa because, you know, Villa are there as well, but I do still think City are the main rival. This is an absolutely huge game for Arsenal because it's one of those games that has stung us over the years. You know, it's always a game at home. You remember like Southampton at home that year when Walcott scored against us.
Yeah.
And it's always these games, Bournemouth and West Ham. I remember losing to West Ham after dominating, and you go,
Villa.
Villa. I remember going crazy after that one, Leon Bailey and them. But I think it's a huge game, absolutely huge. I think we had the perfect sort of. I mean, you'd be absolutely buzzing for that now, wouldn't you? After that, as an Arsenal player, you hope Mikel maybe gives them a day off or so, rest the legs. Like you said, they played on Monday, so it's only 24 hours later that we've played. It'll be interesting how he picks his team, you know, because he went pretty much full strength outside of Raya yesterday. So does he just sort of go same again, or do you bring Havertz back? I don't know how he changes that really, but it's a tough game. I felt Sunderland roughed us up a little bit when we went up there. But like you said, they're not quite the same team away from home. I think Xhaka's still out of this game as well. From what I've read, he won't be back. Obviously, that's a big loss for them. I think we owe them one a little bit as well because that hurt when we went up there and they scored late on. But every time we have that opportunity to put pressure on City, we haven't quite taken it. I don't want to get carried away, but if we can put that pressure on them this weekend and a draw would keep it 8 points, a defeat 9 points. Do you know what I mean? Listen, man, I'm telling you, there'd be, you know, I don't want to say too much. But you know what I'm saying? I keep the passport and the wallet near the front door just in case. Because I said, listen, if we win the league, I'm leaving the house with the passport and the wallet, and I'm back when I'm back. Yeah, I might end up in Vegas in a hotel room, like in The Hangover. It's been 2 decades, people, you know. So, no, man, I honestly think this could be a pivotal weekend because I'll be honest, I do not think City will beat Liverpool. I think they will drop points this week. So we've got to make sure we do our job first.
Yeah, I think it's pivotal. I think it could be like the weekend we remember. I think Curtis has said it there quite well that we don't capitalise enough this season. We haven't capitalised enough this season, but I do think I fancy us to Sunderland at home. I don't think they have been great away. You're right, and you know, missing Xhaka, and we're on a good run of form now. We're in a final. The mood's high. Crowd are up for it. I think everyone will know that City have got to go to Anfield after as well. I'm confident, and I just think that 9 points, it just reminds me when we first went on that title run, and I remember Arteta got the big clock in the changing room, and it was like 11 to go or something, and he was trying to point out there's only 11 games left or something. If we win them all, we win the league. And we're at that point now where there could be 11 games to go, and we're sat here talking about, oh, do you remember when we lost to Southampton or drew to Southampton and lost to Villa and we gave it away and bottled it? And we're at the point where we could be going into 11 games to go and have the breathing room to drop points to a lower team and a lower team again and a lower team again and still be top of the league. So that breathing room will be the first time we go into a run-in with a bit of breathing room if it does become 9 points. I think 6 with the trip to the Etihad could go down to 3, and then you're in for a cagey few games to end the season, injuries, etc. But I think a 9-point gap. I think not only is that a good gap for us, but I think mentally for City, I think they might clock out a bit. I think 9 points with not a lot of games left to go, I think it might hit them a bit more. Maybe they'll start focusing on the Champions League more, or the FA Cup more. They might try to, because I don't know if you guys have seen Pep this week, but he looks like he looks like he's just on a crash out, a final goodbye, a final hurrah. I've seen him go absolutely nuts on absolutely every topic under the sun this week. So it looks like it could be his final hurrah. I mean, from the media from the start of the season, there's been talks about Enzo Maresca and Xavi Alonso and stuff, and that they're preparing for this season and stuff. And I think if we were to go 9 points clear, that might kick in a bit, and it could just sort of become Pep's farewell tour, and they sort of all forget about the league. And I'm sort of hoping that does happen. But yeah, I think this weekend is pivotal. I think if you go 9 points clear, no matter who's behind or who's chasing, I think that puts us so fully in the driving seat that we have margin for error. We're all confident. We're in the final. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually excited for it. I'm counting down the days to the weekend.
I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, sorry, Rob.
yeah, I mean, just before you jump in there, Lee, just to say, like, Sunderland, just looking their last 2 away games. We know they're very strong. The only team that's still got an unbeaten record at home. They've been very strong at home, but on the road, their last 2 away games, lost at West Ham 3-1, lost at Brentford 3-0.
Yeah.
So
listen, I can't emphasise how big this game is for many reasons. You can talk about the 9 points. You can talk about the game against Liverpool as well, but it's important that you keep them down, because if we do slip up, Aston Villa and Liverpool, then Aston Villa and Man City going at their games before us before we play Brentford away, so they could actually, if we mess up, they could actually gain 6 points back. You know what I mean? It's such a big game, this, guys. We've got to win this game by hook or by crook, and then see what happens on the Sunday. Then they play before us on the Thursday. So if we can win on, I know it sounds silly, we can win on Saturday. It may be psychologically, as you say, then and they both of them could have bad games at home, because you know what it's like when teams put 10 players behind the ball and they might slip up again. And we could actually extend it against Brentford, and that would be unreal going into the game against Spurs and Chelsea. I don't care what anybody says. What I see of Chelsea yesterday, Chelsea will play like that for a point. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's going to be, they'll all be sitting in there. So we've got some real difficult games coming up where we're going to have to somehow break teams down home and away. So listen, you've got the opportunity to go 9 points clear, a home game against Sunderland. You have to take it. You have to take it. No excuses if you do this and do that. We have to win on Saturday. Obviously, yes, you want it to be a fantastic win and great performance and all that. I don't care. Just win this game, and then you can sit back and see what happens on the Sunday. But I do think that Saturday's game is pivotal for our title. I really do. I think if we was to lose this or draw this game, it lets them all back in, and that's a big worry. But if we win this game, it just relaxes the place. And it does, did you imagine, guys, if we're going for the title against, it was the other way round, and we're going to Liverpool 9 points behind.
Nightmare.
And we know we've got to win that game. How would we be feeling? you know, like it's a tough ask, isn't it? You know what I mean? So we need to put them in that position where like, blimey, we've got to go and beat Liverpool. You know, and even if there's 5 minutes to go from the end and it's 1-1, that's still a great result for us. What are they going to do? They've got to go gung-ho against it, and they could end up losing it, like, you know. So we've got to put the pressure on them a little bit, like, you know. Villa, you know, like that's 2 home defeats against Everton and Brentford. You'd expect them to win. Villa are a little bit like us a couple of years ago when we was going, you know, we're expected to beat Southampton, we was expected to beat, and we'd end up losing, like, you know. So they're a little bit behind, even though they've done fantastically well. This is the time to just win the game.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, going to that stadium on Saturday, I'll be a lot more nervous than what I was yesterday. I will be, definitely, because it's it's getting to the crunch time now, and it's so important that we win this game. So important. Can't emphasise how important it is.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely huge, absolutely huge. And as I said, Sunderland on the road, especially in recent games, haven't been great. They're good. They do have their players back now. A lot of them who've come back from the African Cup of Nations, but this is a massive opportunity for Arsenal. We know there'll be no Saka, by the sounds of it. There'll be no Marino, but there's enough there to win this game. And like you said, we owe them one. I mean, you know, that was a tough game they gave. It was a great game when we played them up there, but, you know, it was a bit of a sickener at the end, last minute equaliser by Brobby. That guy looks dangerous, by the way. He's going to be a handful for the defenders. But this is another cup final. This is another one, right? That if Arsenal, and I just want the crowd to be up for it. I want I want the atmosphere to be the same as it was yesterday. It's a 3:00 kickoff. I want us to be really, really up for this, because this, for me, is a pivotal weekend. This is a pivotal weekend because you're right, Jack, when you say that psychologically, you do kind of, even though you don't want to say it, but psychologically, 9 points, that's a long way back, man. That's a long, long way back. You know, I don't think there's any team in any of the top leagues right now that are 9 points behind. So 9 points. And I remember when we went that kind of far behind last year against Liverpool, that was kind of game over, wasn't it? That was when we realised that, we've got no chance to win this, man. Should we just focus on something else? You know, so this weekend is absolutely... we might start kind of believing more after this weekend. You're right, Curtis, you know, when you say about, I don't know about packing the passport and that, but... And I might be with you in Vegas.
I'm telling you, bro, I expect you to be there as well with the Black American Express card, you know what I mean? But... No, listen, I agree with what Jack said. I think you want Man City to switch off. You want Pep to... Pep looks like he's ready to just explode, like his head's going to blow up. You know, you want him to be sort of think, the Prem's gone, you know, and because Pep will go for that Champions League, I think, and then maybe we can create some distance. I was just looking there just for the stats. Sunderland, the 4th worst away record in the Premier League, 12 games, they've only won 2. And they're the 2nd lowest scorers as well, 6 goals in 12 games away from the Stadium of Light. So they do struggle away from home. But do you know the biggest compliment that I can pay to Arteta about this season? Because, listen, people know I've been very, critical at times, shall we say, of the manager, just for the lack of silverware more than anything. But I do have this feeling that something's different this year about us. You know, I do feel like when the chips are down, we'll come back. Any little blip that we've had, they've sort of said, okay, you know, we'll brush that off and we go again. And that's sort of the biggest compliment that I can give them. I think you can see in the players that they believe in each other. When you're in a good team and you look around the dressing room and you go, he's a top defender, he's a top midfielder, he's a great winger. It gives you a different feeling because I look at that game last night, no Saka. Usually Saka not being available, we're pressing the panic button. Oh, we're all over the place. And I don't think Noni actually had a great game last night, but you don't really see the effect too much on the team, whoever's out. Calafiori, for the first 3 months, the best left back in the Premier League. He's been injured for ages. It's just been seamless. Nkapie's coming, looks excellent. He looks like he's improving game by game. Ben White's come in and done well. Mosquera, I think Kepa does deserve some credit for last night because he had a quiet game, and that's what you want as a goalkeeper. You don't want no fuss. Norgard's done well. So, and like you said, Lee, I thought you were spot on. Like Mikel yesterday, when Jesus has played like that at the weekend, you would have said he's the banker substitution for Gyökeres. And for him to go, I'll go with Havertz. And Havertz actually, I thought, not just the goal, I thought he changed the way we attack because his link-up play was far better than Gyökeres when he came on. He kept the ball, little touches around the corner. And the goal was just incredible. I honestly, I can't imagine if we win major trophies this year. I might just burst out crying. I just don't know what's going on. And do you know what it is? When he pointed at the badge as well, I was just I'm telling you now, I was going to throw the laptop out the window, but I'm not fully covered on the insurance, so I had to leave it. He takes it around and points at the badge, and I'm just like, this is a guy that scored for Chelsea in the Champions League final. He's kind of saying, listen, I know I used to play for them lot, but I'm one of you, you know what I mean? I'm one of you lot. And it was just, what a moment. I always say this for you two, especially going to the game. Some of the games you go, must have been tough going to the Forest game and stuff like that. But that's what it's all for, isn't it? All the effort, the cold nights, the money. To see a goal like that is just incredible moment, man. But yeah, they've got to brush it off quickly and make sure they win this weekend. You can't get too caught up in it. You got to go again. So yeah. Big game.
Yeah. Well, we got to get into predictions. Nobody got that result 1-0 right, but Jack still leads the table on 28. Lee 25, me 21, you 20. No one's got a correct prediction for a few weeks now. So Jack,
I'm just sort of sailing by at the moment.
What's going on, man? Is this a blip you're going through?
Yeah, it's just a little blip. I just need to get back to fitness, get some of the morale back, and we go again in the second half. So I'm thinking
it's only a 3-point gap.
Hey, I mean, until one of you get one right as well, I'm not bothered. If I've got Tottenham chasing me, there's no chance. Curtis still forever bottom.
Relax, man, relax. I'm getting off there this week. I'm telling you, I'm going with Lee's prediction.
What, Sunderland at home? We'll go with it. The Judges 2-0.
You're an absolute scumbag, Jack. You really are, like, you know what I mean? What are you going, 2-0?
What you got, 2-0?
Yeah.
Oh, do I?
You got to catch me, mate. You got to overtake me, mate. What are you doing?
All right,
you want
Jack,
that new
all right. I do know.
I
can read.
Gold Premier League badge on it next season as well, It'd be nice if you get that
I'll shod you. I'm going to try and take you down. 3-0.
Shouldn't have done that, mate. Silly decision.
Early goal, Jack, and your old bum will be going. Don't worry about that,
I've got to go something different. 4-0. Let me just go.
Robbie's going, boy. Curtis, you can do something here.
Oh, man.
No. I'm going to have to go with one of your predictions because I don't think Sunderland are going to score. And I'm not going 5-0. You know what I mean? You're setting me up for failure there. I'll go 2-0. Come on, Jack. Let's go. 2-0.
Oh,
yeah, Leroy. Go on, the judge.
Go bold.
Right. Dear.
Right. Time to get into our comments. What have we got? Let's start with Lee.
Yeah, I've got this one. Hold on a sec. 1 second.
Oh.
Could it be that Jack is struggling with the means of transport to work since when he is available every single time online? That was from Deliverer E3i. They're on you. They're on you, Jack. They're on you. They're on you, boy. They're on you.
I hadn't thought of that.
Whoa.
But when you think about it, you're always here online. But when it's in the studio,
we can get.
Is he
You know what?
struggling to get out of bed? That's I think what the man's saying is, are you struggling to get out of bed? I think that's what he's saying.
We can get political. You know, today could have been at the studio, but you know, other reasons. You know, we let other people as well. You know, we're very caring in the Forever Arsenal team. So, you know, but no. To the brother commented, it just worked out like that. You know, I don't ever miss one on purpose. So I'm sure the next studio one, I'll be there. I'm glad you missed me, guys. I'm glad you missed me.
Oh man, I got one. So this guy called Denominous. Lee, you've got another famous habit that people keep noticing. So he says, I caught Lee hiding those yawns so many times. Now Lee's got a famous yawn that he keeps in during the show.
When's the last time? It was the late night ones. I'm terrible.
Yeah,
I've got to
it was
say,
the 11 show. You was half asleep.
11 at night. That was. I'm ready for. I'm getting old, guys. You know what I mean? I'm ready for bed at 11 nowadays. You know what I mean? On a school night.
he's practicing his darts, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, look, there's snooker and darts behind him.
I've not yawned once in the morning. I'm a morning person, like, you know what I mean, like, you know. But like night, I do struggle on the night shift. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm surprised because Lee was up messaging at 2-3 a.m. this morning complaining about penalties. So I'm surprised there was no yawning this morning.
I could not sleep last night. I was absolutely buzzing. If we'd have done it last night, I would have been all right. Like, you know, I was buzzing last night. I really was. I don't know about you, but I couldn't get sleep. I was. I think if someone would have come down and said, "Do you want to do the marathon?" I would have done it.
Adrenaline. I got one. Lewis Cypher 9001 says it will be the worst attack to win the Premier League trophy. That's a fact, not a debate, unless you start bagging loads of goals. Well, actually, I was looking at the goal scoring table. Manchester City scored the most, 49. Arsenal second, 46 goals. Right, so you know, he goes, unless we're going to start bagging loads of goals. Arsenal do score a load of goals, just that it's more spread around. So, again, chill out, bro. You know what I mean? I'll tell you, all these little narratives that they're trying to come with. Worst attack. All right, yeah, there's not a Haaland in our team. There's not a guy scoring 20, 25. But if you win the league, who cares? We're scoring goals. Scored 4 against Leeds. I think people forgot that. And in that Chelsea game, we scored 3 away from home.
Yeah, I mean, my comment's quite similar to that, I guess. Ryan C01 says, what's happened to Leandro Trossard? And I thought that was quite a good comment in terms of, I remember being sat here saying he might have a spot in the Premier League player team of the season, maybe around Christmas time. I don't know, is the answer to your question, Ryan, mate. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have noticed it as well. There has been a bit.
It was all right when he came on last night. Did all right last night, didn't he?
I think it's just because the goals have dropped off. He did go through that sort of purple patch where he seemed to be scoring sort of every week, and they're always sort of like equalisers or winners, or they always seem to be important. So maybe because they've dropped off, but you know, if we win the league, like who cares? He played a pivotal part in that early season. So yeah, maybe not team of the season anymore, but we'll see.
All right. Well, listen, guys. We've come to the end of the show today. I've got to say, this has been great. You know, the Carabao Cup, but that's all behind us now until we get to the final. But this weekend is an absolutely pivotal and massive weekend for Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal versus Sunderland on Saturday, and then on Sunday, Manchester City going away to Liverpool. Can Arsenal put a 9-point gap in between us and Manchester City ahead of their game against Liverpool? That's what we're going to find out at the weekend. So, guys, make sure you tune in to us. I think we'll have a lot of eyes on that game on Sunday, especially if we win. So look out for the next Forever Arsenal. But thanks very much, Lee, Curtis, and Jack. And thanks to you guys. Listen, we really appreciate your support each and every week. We appreciate all the comments. Keep sending those in. Get those voice notes coming back in there. But once we get back in the studio again for the next show, we're going to get a load of your voice notes up again. I'm missing those, all right? So get those in. If you want to get them in, don't forget, there is the number for you. scan the QR code as well, right? You can go straight through. Send us in some messages. What probably I'd like to hear from you guys is after all the games are finished this weekend, send us in some of your messages on where you're at and how you feel. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again very soon.